like a child around outside, chase the chickens from the fences. Lower your arms, love and safety surround you. In a short time, we'll be right with you. I could be now, I could be with you tonight. This on your rockets, empty your pockets, babe. Lift up a pen and sign the treaty for me. Well, make no mistakes about it. In a short time, we'll be right with you. I could be with you tonight. Well, I could now, I could be with you tonight. I could be with you There is a mindset. You hear 'em say, once it is fixed, no, it don't stray. Got a mind with no reason, nothing to lose. With the white bombs, the there is a soldier. You hear 'em say his daddy was swift Well, I know I got this baby, but I don't know if my love is true. But you ain't seen nothing till you see how. Do the do, shake a shoulder, move it time, move my body like I was mine. Once you see how you love her too, once you see how. Turning my blood, turning to waste. All their pieces spinning around me. Wouldn't listen. Love I do, but you see how. Do the do, do the do, do the But I don't know if my love is true. But you ain't seen nothing till you see how. Do the do, do the do, do the do, do the do, do the do. Thank you. An honor and a pleasure to play here. Thank you.
All right, great. Hey, Exploding Pintos. Exploding Pintos. All right. Yeah, Exploding Pintos.
I had one of those.
Dude.
I had one of those Pintos.
Yeah, all right.
I got away from it though before it backed up into a Ford. and
Really? Pat
exploded,
Murphy
yeah.
survived?
It backed up into a station wagon and exploded while it wasn't in it. So.
Oh, that's too. Oh, wow. Well, that's too bad.
Yeah.
Exploding.
Sweet, sweet Jane.
Excellent stuff from the Cowboy Junkies from Canada, and that's off their album, I guess, the Trinity Session. Which
Matilda, 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 she take me money and run Venezuela. $500 was the cost. It was to buy a cart and horse. Matilda, she take me money and run Venezuela. Everybody, Matilda, 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 she take me money and run Venezuela. Once again now, Matilda, 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 she take me money and run Venezuela. Well, the money was just inside me bed, stuck in the pillow beneath me head. Don't you know that Matilda, she take me money and run Venezuela. Everybody, Matilda, 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 she take me money and run Venezuela. Round the corner, Matilda, 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 she take me money and run Venezuela. friends I'm never to love again. All my money gone in vain. Matilda, she grabbed me money and run Venezuela. She's a grabber. Matilda, 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 she takes me money and run Venezuela. Once again now, Matilda, 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 she takes me money and run Venezuela. For the last time, Matilda, 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 she takes me money and run Venezuela.
This is KXLU Los Angeles. This is Paul signing off. Thanks a lot for tuning in. Doing Mitch's show, and right now you've got the High Noon News with Tom.
This is the High Noon News for Thursday. According to the Los Angeles Department of Transportation, Shirley Avenue is the city's most frequently stolen street sign. Shirley must be quite a gal.
Start up polishing, Lordy Lord, how they love romancing.
Believe it or not, people from Iowa knew who Sid Vicious of the punk rock group Sex Pistols was. In fact, the Harper's Magazine Index of Oddball Facts says 5% of Iowans were personally affected by his death in 1979. Finally, the magazine says 8 to 12-year-old children can name more alcoholic beverages than they can U.S. presidents. Kids can recall an average of 5.2 alcoholic beverages, but can only name an average of 4.8 U.S. presidents. Did you hear about the prisoners who dug a tunnel out of their cell straight into the courtroom? In fact, Peter Eldon says humans make the most hilarious mistakes and are suckers for obvious scams. To prove his point, Eldon features more than 200 silly situations in his books, Amazing Pranks and Blunders. Here are a few classic examples. Believe it or not, some overweight Americans went berserk when a newspaper story announced that anyone weighing more than 195 pounds was to be deported because they consumed too much air. And talk about a blunder, a gunman who robbed a Paris grocery store thought he made a clean getaway, but as he ran, his hat blew off. It wasn't before long police caught up with him because his name and address were inside the hat. The joke's on you, buddy. Well, I guess nobody's perfect. You know you're getting old when all the candles on your birthday cake send a fire and 4 fire trucks rushing to your party. Well, that's what happened at Katomi Kabibashi's 100th birthday party in the Vancouver suburb of Richmond, British Columbia. The 100 candles triggered the fire alarms at Richmond Memorial Hospital. The firefighters didn't stay for the party. Oh well. A San Jose dentist who survived the August 31st crash of Delta Flight 1141 at the Dallas-Fort Worth Airport says every day is now Thanksgiving. Dr. David Mosel is credited with carrying a 3-year-old boy out of the burning plane. He says you just don't take anything for granted anymore. Since the crash, every day is special. Every day is Thanksgiving. And for the weather, today, mostly cloudy and cool with west to northwest winds to 15 miles per hour. Highs in the low to mid-60s. Tonight and Friday, mostly cloudy with west to northwest winds. 15 miles per hour in the afternoon. Lows 45 to 52. Highs in the mid-60s. Rest of the Thanksgiving weekend, mostly clear with a little warmer days. And LAX and LMU, currently 62.
Happy Thanksgiving.
But dance and make the world so great. No one should be the same. The kids are the future, you can see it in their eyes. They must overcome nationality if the world is to survive. And we'll sink with California when it falls into the sea. Ich bin nicht von Deutschland, but I can dance, but I can sing California. It means nothing to me. I just
Sandra, you lucked out. I was going to bring the Yellow Submarine album. Oh, real good.
Shut up, Chris Chapman.
The Yellow Submarines?
Oh, there we go. Sandra with some more of her rabid case of penis envy. Get some hydrocortisone. That's a psychological term.
You can say that. Go ahead.
Yeah, it's a psychological term.
All right, hold on. Youth Brigade there with, oh my goodness. Sinclair, California. We had
We like to play a Cream song now. Let's go. It's called Tales of Brave Ulysses.
What town you guys from?
Ellensburg.
Where the heck is that up there?
It's a pretty little valley in the center of the state where the clouds are blown from the sun. In the pretty little valley in the center of the state, it's Ellensburg, Washington. It's Ellensburg, it's Ellensburg, it's Ellensburg, Washington.
dope with Judge Ginsburg. But the press got it all wrong. We always scored from Eddie Meese and used Poindexter's bomb. The parties Ginsburg threw were crazed. The atmosphere was loose. We got insane. We pulled a train with Nancy Reagan as the caboose.
It'd be nice if he had like some sense of spirituality, because if he doesn't have some sense of there's something out there that's like really awesome other than oneself, then well, that's not worth much. So there goes that, you know. And then like there are these invisible rules, but you know, it seems like if you try to play by the invisible rules, sometimes some really neat things happen, you know. Every time, hallelujah, hallelujah, amen. Rolling into the night, it beats fast. They try to run, but they can't catch. Heavy-handed roll is on the run, caught in the light of the blazing sun. I never thought of death in terms of angels. Rushing closer, now I see the danger. Hand in hand, honesty and violence ends in silence. Explosions heading towards the truth, like a judge or beg for proof. Searching for what it is you seek, I can't find the key to what you need. Fatalistic, we must make a stand. Never know where until the end. The victory of life is not a struggle. Now we see there was no need to suffer. I never thought of death in terms of why must prayers go hand in hand? Honesty and violence ends in silence. see. Well, that old bunny coming after me. I thought I told her I was out of town. I wonder how she knowed I was hanging around. Say, listen, baby, don't go wasting your time. You keep on coming round, you hear the same old line. You got 1,000 boys, you say you need them. We take what's good for you and I'll take my freedom. Cause lately it's been so hard to make ends meet. And honey, you know you're heading down a one-way street. You got to go down the other way. I thought you knew it. There's nothing over here I never showed you. I made it pretty clear, I'm glad to know ya. You know your brother Spike is on the level. Well, he's always looking like you met the devil. Don't say you got to do, it's all forgotten. You're just a testament to choose your right. You know it's so hard to keep it alive. I never hear from you nothing but jive. Because lately it's been so hard to make ends meet. And honey, you know your head's a one-way street. And I'm down all the way. Didn't it?
Yeah, all right.
That felt pretty good.
Hey, yeah, pretty good is right. Let me tell you, it's like Brain Cookies promises the sun, the moon, and the stars, and we give it to you. That's right. It's all up here. And that was Deborah Exit and Pat Ruthenschmier.
And the mind control aspects therein. If this interests you, stay tuned for Alternative Outlook or for Radio Free America.
First, allow me to introduce myself. My name is Judge 100 Years.
My name is Judge Roughneck. Now remember, I'm your boss, Skinhead speaking. My name is Caleb. All right, great.
I'm Archibald of the Trails of Houston, Texas. We don't only sing, but we dance just as good as we want. In Houston.
So you have a schizophrenic personality? Don't worry, so does Skankshaft. Just need to remind you that every Monday night, 11 to midnight, Neil Sinefron serves up a hearty soup chock full of soul, mod, power pop, oi, ska, and reggae classics on Skankshaft. So grab yourself a bowl as a cup runneth over on Skankshaft, only on the left, KXLU.
On that bass now. Tighten it up. Yeah. Now let that guitar fall in. Oh yeah. Tighten up on the organ now. Yeah, you do the tighten up.
Okay, now remember that these Radio Free America broadcasts are meant to be taped. So don't be squeamish about getting a tape out right now, and go ahead and record these events so that you can take in this information, reprocess it, perhaps pass it on to a friend, and question the information that you're being given, and see what you can make of it, and just so you can take it all in again. Once again, these broadcasts are meant to be taped, so feel free to go right ahead and do that. And now we'll get into Operation Mind Control Part 2 on KXLU Los Angeles.
Okay, now one of the things that we spend most of our time looking at in the first broadcast were some of the various techniques developed by the intelligence agencies and the military to effect mind control. Now, one of the things we looked at were a couple of techniques called RHIC and EDOM. RHIC stands for Radio Hypnotic Intracerebral Control. EDOM stands for Electronic Dissolution of Memory. Essentially, RHIC called for the implantation of a small electronic radio receiver, a stimulator which could stimulate a muscle upon receiving a signal. And what this did basically was to set off a hypno-programmed cue in the victim or subject, and this elicited a conditioned behavior. Now, electronic dissolution of memory called for the remote control production of acetylcholine, which basically blocked the transmission of nerve impulses in the brain and results in a sort of amnesia, and that wiped out the memory of the person who's been under or placed under mind control. Okay? Now, after that, we took a look at a number of different assassination programs that had been undertaken by the military or the intelligence community. We took a look at a technique or a program whereby assassins or would-be assassins were recruited by the Navy specifically, and they were then shown films to desensitize them to violence, and eventually were sort of assigned out as assassins, particularly operating out of American embassies abroad. And following that, we took a look at a fellow by the name of Castillo. And he, according to a number of, much of the information presented while he was being interviewed by the Philippine Security Service, that he not only had apparently been assigned to assassinate or attempt to assassinate Philippine President Ferdinand Marcos, but he also, according to much of the information presented, was involved in the assassination of President Kennedy as well. Okay? Following that, we took a look at some information presented by a U.S. government assassin, which maintained that mind control had been affected by the police agencies and the FBI as well, that they basically had mind control programs underway. Another thing he pointed out was that ultrasound was often used for affecting mind control on assassins. Okay, and we're going to be picking up at much the same place in this particular broadcast. We're going to be talking about assassinations, and specifically, we're going to begin talking about, well, we'll resume, I should say, talking about the possibility of mind control in connection with some of the figures involved in the assassination of President Kennedy. Okay? First piece of information we're going to look at here comes from a book called Operation Mind Control. Operation Mind Control was authored by a man named Walter Boert. It was published in softcover by Dell, copyrighted 1978. Now, the fellow we're talking about here is a guy by the name of George de Mohrenschildt. Now, George de Mohrenschildt, those of you who heard our series on the Guns of November about the assassination of President Kennedy, was basically Lee Harvey Oswald's intelligence babysitter. He sort of stewarded Lee Harvey Oswald and Marina around, introduced them to a number of different people, including the Paynes, who ultimately got Lee Harvey Oswald his job at the Texas School Book Depository. They also, George de Mohrenschildt was also a German spy during World War II. He had connections to the Nobel oil family of White Russia, and apparently his father managed the Baku oil fields for the Nobel family. Now, when the House Select Committee on Assassinations was investigating George de Mohrenschildt and his links to Lee Harvey Oswald, one of the things that they basically were checking out, well, while they were checking this out, George de Mohrenschildt died of a shotgun blast to the head. And there are indications that that shotgun blast may have been self-administered and may have been the result of mind control. Now, when we were talking about Mr. Castillo last time, one of the things that one of the disturbing types of behavior that Castillo demonstrated was that when his name was called, he basically pretended to, well, he would hold a phantom gun. Of course, he was under hypnosis. He didn't realize that it was a phantom gun, and attempted to kill himself whenever his name was mentioned. Now, one of the focuses of the CIA and military mind control programs has been to get people to commit suicide on command when that was deemed necessary. Now, going back, reading from Operation Mind Control by Walter Boert about George de Mohrenschildt and the possibility that he was under mind control. In late March 1977, de Mohrenschildt's name was brought before the newly formed House Select Committee on Assassinations. Willem